Why did I even bother starting to do this? I just knew I was going to fail. Kareem, you really just need to stop trying. If you can relate, then you know about the never-ending, self-criticizing black hole that leads nowhere. What if we could avoid it? This week's question is, what inspires me without the need for self-criticism? I don't know about you, but the best way to avoid going down that negative spiral is to avoid it altogether. That's why focusing on what inspires me without self-criticism is worth thinking about. As I reflected, I had a handful of memories come to mind for me. The first one was when I was in 4th grade and I won my school storytelling contest. But this wasn't just any storytelling contest. It was one where you had to memorize and recite an entire story as close to word for word as possible. I memorized nearly the entire story of the Tinderbox. But I remember not just memorizing it, but learning it so well I was able to get into character during it. My sophomore summer of college, I received one of Goldman Sachs scholarships for excellence. Thank you, Goldman. And as a result, I participated in their sophomore rotational program. During the program, you rotated through all of the revenue generating divisions like investment banking, wealth management, sales and trading, and research. At the end of the program, you gave a company presentation. I remember one of the recruiters at the end of the presentation coming up to me and telling me that I presented with an air of confidence that naturally put the audience at ease. That's when one of my insecurities kicked in, and instead of saying thank you, I asked, did it come across as arrogant? Thankfully, she said no, not at all. After that internship program, you had an opportunity to interview with every team that wanted to interview with you. I made a strong impression because I had almost 10 interviews with a handful of groups. But it was also really frustrating. None of the interviews were turning into offers. That was the first time I came to understand that there are subcultures that exist within companies, meaning a company can have a culture that everyone is aligned to, but there's going to be a variation for that within a department. For example, the investment bankers were night owls, and the sales and traders were early birds. Then there were subcultures within teams or groups. For example, the Latin American sales and traders all spoke Spanish, and the derivatives traders were all former engineers, scientists, or mathematicians. So you could be a fit for the culture within a company, but not necessarily fit in with every team at the company. I remember getting internal feedback from a mentor who was working at Goldman at the time, and he told me that I was wearing my heart on my sleeve during the interviews. I was talking too much about what I wanted to do to help my community and the importance of education. That's why I wasn't getting any return offers. As you can imagine, I had no idea what to make of that comment, but I thought it couldn't have been something good since I wasn't getting any offers to go back to Goldman. Everything ultimately worked out. I landed an internship at BlackRock the following summer in the fixed income portfolio management group and made 30% more during that summer while working 20% less. The work environment also seemed less tense and uptight. No offense to anyone still working at Goldman. Clearly, there's still some hard feelings. The last memory that came to mind was during a business planning in the hospitality industry class I took. Again, it was time to do our final presentations, and I got up and presented the business plan I'd been working on all semester. The professor at the end of the presentation said the presentation was so polished and convincing that it would naturally make anyone skeptical. Talk about a punch in the gut. In all of those situations, the story recital, the company presentation, the interviews, and the business plan presentation, I was consumed with the process. I enjoyed being exposed to something new, learning it so deeply I was able to make it my own, and then teach it in a way that would inspire someone into action. For me, it's about learning and teaching with purpose. So you can expect to see a lot more of that from me in 2024. I hope you'll carve out some time to think about what you'll enjoy doing no matter the situation to keep the self-criticism away, and maybe even discover a talent or a joy that can help you with your day job. I'm going to close by saying welcome to all the new loopers who are joining our community, and thank you to all the loopers who continue to persist on this journey with me. Get after it.